Man United striker Mason Greenwood. It was announced yesterday, after a lot of waiting, that he will leave the club by mutual agreement, we are told, after a 6-month internal investigation into his conduct. This goes back all the way to January 2022. He was arrested following allegations surrounding material published online. He then had charges brought against him, including attempted rape and assault. Those were dropped in February this year, but still has not returned to the pitch for Man United. Now he's going to leave. What are the circumstances behind this, such as we can legally say them? There are legal restrictions on this, but in terms of the reaction of particularly female fans at Man United, their reaction to the prospect of him coming back to the pitch?
Julia, I think the old newspaper term on this, Manchester United's behaviour on this, is a reverse ferret. I think that's what we used to call it. And what happened was that last week, the Athletic website leaked the news that Manchester United were minded to bring Greenwood back. And it created such a reaction that I think the club thought, hey, this isn't going to work. Reputational damage is such that it's not going to work for us, and it certainly isn't going to work for the player. And they decided that they weren't going to bring him back after all. But their statement is really odd, and I think you're right. I think because it's by mutual consent, I think legally it had to be framed in such a way. They've said, we believe after our investigation he is innocent of all the charges that were levelled against him. However, he accepts that he did wrong. Not quite sure how those two things tally up, but still. So hang on, this is someone entirely innocent who you're getting rid of for something that happened in the past that he now apologises for. Yeah. Very, very confusing statement. And I think ultimately it's about the reputational damage to the club. Yeah. They realise that every time this lad played for them, if he played in the future, there would be questions, there would be a whole brouhaha around them. Potentially sponsors would not be interested in being associated with a brand that was associated with him. Yeah. And so therefore they decided, no, we can't have him.
Well, it is interesting. I mean, there was material published online in which a man could be heard shouting at a woman, move your beep beep legs up. Woman responding that she didn't want to have sex, and the man replying, I don't give a beep beep what you want, you little beep beep. Then saying, push me again and watch what happens to you. Now, again, allegations were brought against Greenwood. Allegations have been dropped. On that basis, I mean, I feel very strongly in this country, you are innocent until lesser until proven guilty. I think we need to maintain that. I think there's far too much stuff, online. Someone says something, everyone immediately goes, well, no smoke without fire. We don't know the ins and outs of this. He's admitted he's done something, some wrongdoing. The idea that any multi-million pound paid player mutually leaves one of the biggest clubs in the world is a load of nonsense. I'm sorry. I mean, no fan's going to believe this. Was this, though, do you think, driven by the outcry from female fans of the club who did not want this man on the pitch?
I think that was part of it. I think the bigger fear was a commercial one. Listen, I know I'm going to sound terribly cynical in this, that everything that football clubs do these days is to buy money. But I think the bigger fear was their sponsors were not going to back him. And Mason Greenwood's boot sponsor, his individual boot sponsor, dropped him the moment those tapes first appeared. Yeah. And I think that Manchester United realised this was going to be very, very damaging to them. There were small demonstrations against him from female fans. There was a lot of outcry. I think every single female supporter at Manchester United, it's very difficult to say all Manchester United fans because it's a hugely diverse fan base. They can barely agree on what time kickoffs should be, never mind on all issues. And there will be plenty online who are saying Greenwood should come back. Yeah. Etc. Particularly because he's a very good player, and United could do with some very good players at the moment, as they don't particularly look as though they're firing.
I mean, I'm intrigued to see where he ends up going. Realistically, they think he's going to go abroad. I mean, there'll be plenty of countries where those wouldn't be an issue.
Well, I can think of one immediately, Julia, and they seem to be buying an awful lot of footballers at the moment. I think he's Saudi bound.
OK, really good to talk to you. Thank you very much, Jim White, football writer at the Daily Telegraph.